There are moments in your life when everything becomes silent, not peaceful silence, but a heavy silence, the kind that makes you question everything. You look around and it feels like everyone else is moving forward. Everyone else seems to have direction, purpose, clarity, and you are standing still, lost in a place you never planned to be. You try to understand why things turned out this way, why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain dreams didn't happen, and deep inside, a question begins to echo, why me? But what if I told you, you are not lost, you are not abandoned, you are not forgotten, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Because this path was chosen for you, not by accident, but by Allah, with wisdom you cannot yet see. This path was written before you were born. My beloved brothers and sisters, long before you opened your eyes to this world, long before you took your first breath, long before anyone even knew your name, your story was already written. Not in a careless way, not randomly, not without purpose, but written with precision, wisdom, and knowledge that no human mind can ever fully comprehend. You see, one of the reasons you feel lost today is because you are only seeing a single moment of your life, while Allah sees the entire picture from beginning to end. You are judging your journey based on what you feel right now, but Allah has already seen where this path leads, what it protects you from, what it prepares you for, and what it will eventually bring into your life. Sometimes you stand in a moment that feels confusing, painful, even meaningless. But that moment is connected to something far greater that you cannot yet see. Just like a person reading one line of a book cannot understand the entire story, you are living one chapter while Allah knows the entire book of your life. And this is why you must understand something deeply. Nothing you are going through is outside the control of Allah. Nothing slipped through. Nothing was a mistake. Not the pain, not the delay, not the loneliness, not even the smallest detail of what you are experiencing right now. You may think, if this path was chosen for me, then why does it feel so difficult? And the answer is simple, because difficulty is often the path to transformation. Ease does not always change you. Comfort does not always grow you. But challenges, they shape you, they refine you, they bring out a version of you that ease never could. Allah did not choose this path for you to break you. He chose it to build you into someone stronger, someone closer to Him, someone who understands life beyond the surface. There are moments where you wish your life was easier, where you wish your journey looked like someone else's, where you wish things happened faster. But if you truly understood what Allah knows, you would realize that what you are asking for might actually harm you. So instead of questioning the path, learn to trust the one who chose it. Because when the one who knows everything chooses something for you, it is never without reason. قُلْ لَنْ يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا. My beloved brothers and sisters, this verse is not just something to read, it is something to live by. Nothing will touch you except what Allah has already written for you. Not the pain, not the loss, not the confusion, nothing. And when you truly accept this, your heart begins to change. You stop resisting everything that happens. You stop feeling like life is unfair. You stop drowning in why me questions, and instead you begin to find peace even in uncertainty. Because you know, if this path was written for you, then it must be leading you somewhere you need to go. So even if today feels heavy, even if today feels unclear, remind yourself, this is not random. This is written. And what is written by Allah always carries wisdom, even if you cannot yet see it. Feeling lost is sometimes the beginning of guidance. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most misunderstood feelings in life is the feeling of being lost. People fear it, they try to escape it. They see it as a sign that something has gone wrong, that they are far from where they are supposed to be. But what if this feeling, this deep confusion, this emptiness, this sense that nothing makes sense anymore is not a sign of misguidance, but the very beginning of true guidance? You see, when everything in your life feels stable, when your plans are working, when people are around you, when distractions are filling your time, it is very easy to forget Allah. It is very easy to become comfortable in a life that looks good on the outside but may be empty on the inside. You move forward but you do not reflect. You achieve but you do not connect. You smile but you do not truly feel. And then suddenly, something changes. A door closes, a person leaves, a plan fails, a feeling of emptiness enters your heart, and now, for the first time in a long time, you are forced to stop, you are forced to think, you are forced to feel. And in that moment, when everything else is stripped away, you begin to realize something powerful. You are not as strong on your own as you thought you were. That moment of realization is not your weakness, it is your awakening. Because guidance does not always come when life is easy. Guidance often comes when life shakes you, when it removes the illusions you are holding onto, when it brings you to a place where you have no choice but to look beyond this world. When you feel lost, you start asking deeper questions. You begin to ask, what is the purpose of my life? Why am I here? What truly matters? And these are not small questions. These are the very questions that lead a person back to Allah. Many people found their way back to Allah, not when they were comfortable, but when they were broken. Not when they had everything, but when they felt like they had nothing. Because in that emptiness, they discovered something they had been missing all along, their need for Allah. You see, when you have everything, you rely on everything. But when everything is taken away, you learn to rely on the one who was always there. And this is why your feeling of being lost is not something to run away from. It is something to understand. It is a moment where Allah is removing distractions from your life so you can finally see clearly. It is a moment where He is calling you back, not through comfort, but through realization. You may feel alone, but in reality, you are being brought closer to the only one whose presence truly matters. You may feel empty, but that emptiness is making space for something far greater, a connection with Allah that is not based on circumstances, but on sincerity. Think about it. When was the last time you truly spoke to Allah from your heart? Not just words, not just routine, but a real conversation. For many people, that only happens when they feel lost, when their heart is heavy, when they don't know where else to turn. So your lost feeling is not pushing you away from Allah, it is pulling you towards Him. And if you respond to it correctly, if instead of escaping it, you use it, if instead of numbing it, you reflect through it, this could be the moment your entire life changes. Because guidance is not always a straight, comfortable road. Sometimes it begins in confusion. Sometimes it begins in darkness. Sometimes it begins in a place where you feel like you have nothing left. But that nothing is actually everything because it brings you back to Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, do not be afraid of feeling lost. Be afraid of being distracted. Because a distracted heart can go years without finding Allah. But a lost heart that is searching is already on the path back to Him. So if you feel lost today, do not see it as the end. See it as the beginning of your return, your growth, your awakening, and your journey back to Allah. What you lost was never meant to stay. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are losses in life that shake you to your core. Losses that don't just hurt for a moment but linger. They sit quietly in your chest. They revisit you in your thoughts. They return in the silence of your nights. You replay memories. You revisit conversations. You imagine different outcomes. And somewhere deep inside, you wish things had turned out differently. You wish that person stayed. You wish that opportunity worked out. You wish that moment didn't slip away. And the pain you feel is real. It is heavy. It is not something to ignore or pretend does not exist. But within that pain, there is a truth that can completely change the way you see your life if you allow yourself to understand it. What you lost was never meant to stay. This is not something easy to accept. In fact, your heart may resist it at first. Because when you love something, when you attach yourself to it, when you build your hopes around it, you begin to believe that it is part of your future. You begin to believe that your happiness depends on it. And when it is taken away, it feels like a piece of you has been taken with it. But listen carefully. Allah does not take something away from you without a reason. And more importantly, He does not remove something that was truly meant to remain in your life. You may have wanted it. You may have prayed for it. You may have planned your life around it. But if it left, if it broke, if it disappeared, then understand this clearly. It was never written to be part of your final destination. Sometimes we hold on to things because we see the surface, but Allah sees the reality behind it. You may see happiness in something, but Allah sees the harm. You may see comfort in someone, but Allah sees the damage they would eventually cause to your heart, your faith, your future. And because He loves you, He removes it. Not because He wants to hurt you, but because He wants to protect you. There are people who stayed in situations they thought they needed, only to realize later that those very things were destroying them slowly. There are opportunities that seemed perfect, but would have led to regret. There are relationships that felt like everything, but would have taken them further away from who they were meant to become. Allah, in His mercy, sometimes takes away what you cannot let go of on your own. And that is why loss feels so painful, because it breaks an attachment that your heart was not ready to release. But just because your heart was not ready does not mean it was right for you to keep. You have to begin trusting not just what you feel, but what Allah knows. Because your feelings are limited. They are shaped by what you see, what you experience, what you desire in the moment. But Allah's knowledge is complete. He knows the future of what you are holding on to. He knows where it leads, what it turns into, how it affects you in ways you cannot predict. And when something is removed from your life, it is not just about that moment, it is about everything that would have come with it. Think about the times in your past when something didn't work out. Something you were once deeply upset about. And now, looking back, you feel relieved that it didn't happen. You realize that if things had gone your way back then, your life today would be completely different and not necessarily better. That is how Allah works. But the difficulty is, you only understand it later. Right now, in the moment of loss, you feel the pain, but you cannot yet see the protection. You feel the emptiness, but you cannot yet see what space is being created for something better. And this is where trust becomes essential. Because if you only trust when you understand, then you will spend most of your life in frustration. But if you learn to trust even when you don't understand, then you will find peace even in loss. My beloved brothers and sisters, not everything you lose is a loss in reality. Some losses are actually hidden gifts. Some endings are actually beginnings in disguise. Some closed doors are not rejections, they are redirections. You are not being deprived, you are being guided. You are not being emptied for no reason. You are being prepared to receive something that aligns with your purpose, your growth, and your relationship with Allah. But you must let go of one thing, the belief that what you wanted was the best for you. Because sometimes the thing you cry over losing is the very thing that would have made you cry even more if it stayed. So allow yourself to feel the pain, but do not let that pain blind you from the wisdom behind it. Allow yourself to miss what you lost, but do not let that attachment make you question Allah's plan. Because one day, maybe not today, maybe not soon, but one day you will look back at this very loss and you will understand. You will understand why it had to go. You will understand what it saved you from. And most importantly, you will thank Allah for taking it away, even though you once begged Him to let it stay. Your loneliness is not empty, it is full of meaning. My beloved brothers and sisters, there is a type of pain that does not make noise. It does not show on your face clearly, it does not always come with tears, and it does not always have a visible cause. It is the quiet weight of loneliness. The feeling that even when you are surrounded by people, there is a distance between your heart and everything around you. The feeling that no one truly understands what you are carrying inside. You wake up and go through your day, you speak, you smile, you interact, but deep within, there is a silence that no one else hears. And at night, when everything slows down, that silence becomes louder, your thoughts become heavier, your heart begins to speak in a language that only Allah understands. Loneliness can make you feel forgotten. It can make you feel like you are walking this life without support, without connection, without someone who truly sees you. But what if this loneliness, this very feeling you are trying to escape, is actually one of the most meaningful experiences Allah has placed in your life? Because when people are constantly around you, when your time is always filled, when your attention is always occupied, it becomes very easy to forget your relationship with Allah. You rely on people for comfort, you rely on conversations for distraction, you rely on presence for peace, and slowly, without realizing, your connection with Allah becomes secondary. But when loneliness enters your life, everything changes. Now there is space to think, space to reflect, space to feel, space to realize, and most importantly, space to connect with Allah. Loneliness removes the noise of the world so you can finally hear the voice of your own heart. It strips away the distractions so you can finally face what is inside you. It places you in a position where you are no longer relying on people, but you are being directed towards the one who never leaves. And this is why your loneliness is not empty, it is full. It is full of opportunities that many people never experience. Opportunities to build a relationship with Allah that is not based on convenience, not based on routine, but based on sincerity and need. When you feel like no one is there for you, Allah is there. When you feel like no one understands you, Allah understands you. When you feel like you have no one to talk to, Allah is always listening. But here is the reality. Many people feel lonely, yet they do not turn to Allah. Instead, they try to fill that loneliness with temporary distractions. They scroll endlessly, they seek validation from people, they try to escape the feeling instead of understanding it. And the result? The loneliness remains. Because loneliness is not meant to be filled with the world, it is meant to be filled with Allah. If you try to fill a spiritual emptiness with worldly things, it will never satisfy you. You may feel temporary relief, but the emptiness will return, often stronger than before. Because what your soul is asking for is not more noise, it is more connection with its Creator. My beloved brothers and sisters, your loneliness is an invitation to sit with yourself, to understand your heart, to speak to Allah in a way you never have before. Not just through memorized words, not just through routine actions, but through honest, raw, sincere conversation. Tell Him what you feel. Tell Him what hurts. Tell Him what confuses you. Tell Him what you are struggling with. Not because He does not know, but because you need to express it. And in those moments, something beautiful happens. You begin to feel a presence that cannot be explained. You begin to feel a calm that does not come from people. You begin to feel a connection that is deeper than anything you have experienced before. This is the hidden gift of loneliness. It teaches you that your peace was never meant to come from people alone. It teaches you that your heart was designed to be connected to Allah first. And once that connection is strong, everything else in your life becomes lighter. Your loneliness does not disappear overnight, but it transforms. It transforms from a painful emptiness into a meaningful solitude. A solitude where you are not alone because you are with Allah. A solitude where your thoughts are not overwhelming because you are grounded in remembrance. A solitude where your heart is not restless because it has found its true source of peace. So do not rush to escape your loneliness. Do not fill every moment with noise just to avoid being with yourself. Because within that loneliness, Allah is calling you, not to break you, but to bring you closer. Not to leave you empty, but to fill your heart with something far greater than anything this world can offer. And when you answer that call, when you turn your loneliness into a connection, you will realize something powerful. You were never truly alone. You were just being invited to find the one who was always there. You are being prepared, not punished. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most painful thoughts a person can carry is the feeling that they are being punished by Allah. When life becomes heavy, when problems keep coming, when doors continue to close, when nothing seems to go the way you planned, your heart begins to whisper something dangerous. Why is Allah doing this to me? And slowly, without realizing, that whisper turns into doubt. Doubt about your worth, doubt about your future, and sometimes even doubt about the mercy of Allah. But listen carefully, what you are going through is not punishment, it is preparation. There is a huge difference between the two, but because you cannot yet see the outcome, you misunderstand the process. Punishment destroys. Preparation builds. Punishment leaves you empty without purpose. Preparation empties you so you can be filled with something greater. Punishment distances you from Allah. Preparation brings you closer to Him, even if it happens through pain. You are not being targeted, you are being trained. You are not being abandoned, you are being shaped. You are not being broken for no reason. You are being rebuilt into someone you are not yet able to see. Think about it deeply. If Allah wanted to punish you, He could have left you in a state where you feel nothing. He could have allowed your heart to become completely disconnected, completely unaware, completely lost without even realizing it. But the fact that you feel, the fact that you are questioning, the fact that you are searching for meaning, this is a sign that Allah is still guiding you, still working on you, still drawing you closer. Because the worst state is not pain, the worst state is heedlessness. And you are not in that state. My beloved brothers and sisters, every difficulty you are facing right now is doing something inside you. It is building patience that you did not have before. It is teaching you reliance that comfort never could. It is strengthening your heart in ways ease would never achieve. You may not see the growth immediately, but it is happening. Just like a seed buried deep in the ground, it looks like nothing is happening on the surface. It looks dark, it looks confined, it looks like it is stuck, but beneath the surface, something powerful is taking place. Roots are forming, strength is building, a foundation is being prepared. And one day, that seed will break through the surface and grow into something strong and visible. But if that seed could speak while it was buried, it might think it is being crushed. That is exactly how you feel right now. You feel buried. You feel surrounded by pressure. You feel like you are not moving. But in reality, you are growing. Allah is preparing you for something that requires a version of you that does not exist yet. And that version can only be built through what you are going through right now. If you were given everything you wanted at this moment, without this preparation, it might destroy you instead of benefiting you. It might pull you away from Allah instead of bringing you closer. It might give you temporary happiness but long-term regret. So Allah in His wisdom prepares you first. He builds your patience so you do not collapse under pressure. He strengthens your heart so you do not break when things get difficult. He teaches you reliance on Him so you do not become dependent on things that will eventually fade. And this preparation is not always comfortable. It comes with moments of confusion, moments of waiting, moments where you feel like nothing is changing. It comes with tests that make you question yourself, that push you to your limits, that force you to grow in ways you never expected. But every single moment of it has purpose. وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. My beloved brothers and sisters, how many times have you disliked something that hurt you, something that disappointed you, something that felt like a setback, only to realize later that it was actually good for you? This verse is not just a statement, it is a reality you will experience again and again in your life. Right now, you may hate what you are going through. You may wish it was different. You may pray for it to end. But within this very situation, there is goodness being prepared for you. Not imagined goodness, real goodness, but it is hidden behind patience. And this is where your faith is tested. Can you trust Allah even when you do not understand? Can you remain patient even when you do not see progress? Can you believe that something good is coming even when everything feels difficult? Because true trust is not proven when things are easy. It is proven when things are hard and you still believe. My beloved brothers and sisters, you are not being punished. You are being prepared for a moment that will make sense of everything you are going through right now. A moment where your strength will be needed. A moment where your patience will be rewarded. A moment where your understanding will expand and you will finally see why things had to happen this way. But until that moment comes, you must hold on. Hold on to your trust. Hold on to your patience. Hold on to your connection with Allah. Because what you are going through right now is not the end of your story. It is the process that is preparing you for something far greater than you can currently imagine. Your path is different because your purpose is different. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the biggest reasons your heart feels unsettled, one of the deepest sources of your confusion, is something you may not even realize you are doing. You are comparing your journey to someone else's. You look at their life and it seems like everything is moving smoothly. They are achieving things faster. They are finding opportunities you don't have. They are surrounded by people while you feel alone. They seem ahead and you feel behind. And slowly, silently, this comparison begins to damage your heart. You start questioning your own path. You start doubting your own progress. you start feeling like something is wrong with you. But listen carefully, nothing is wrong with you. What is wrong is the way you are measuring your life. Because you are using someone else's timeline to judge a path that was never meant to look like theirs. My beloved brothers and sisters, Allah did not create all of us to walk the same road. If that was the case, every life would look identical. Every story would unfold the same way. Every person would reach the same milestones at the same time. But look around you, that is not reality. Some people succeed early, others succeed later. Some people find clarity quickly, others find it after years of searching. Some people are tested through loss, others are tested through abundance. And all of it is by design. Because your purpose is not the same as theirs. And when your purpose is different, your path must also be different. The problem begins when you forget this. You begin to chase what others have without asking if it was ever meant for you. You begin to feel delayed without realizing you are actually being directed somewhere else. You begin to feel behind without understanding that you are on a completely different journey. Imagine two people traveling. One is going to the east, one is going to the west. If they both judge their progress by comparing directions, one will always feel lost. But the reality is, both are exactly where they need to be. This is your life. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not failing. You are just on a path that does not look like everyone else's. And that is not a weakness. That is your uniqueness. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes Allah delays you in certain things, not because you are not capable, but because your heart needs to be built differently. Sometimes He removes people from your life, not because you are not worthy of companionship, but because your journey requires a different kind of strength. Sometimes He puts you in isolation, not to make you suffer, but to develop something inside you that cannot be developed in crowds. And this is why your path feels different, because it is doing something different inside you. But when you keep comparing, you miss all of that. You miss your growth, you miss your lessons, you miss your transformation, because your eyes are always on someone else's life. Comparison is not just a distraction, it is a thief. It steals your peace, it steals your gratitude, it steals your focus from what Allah is doing in your own life. And the more you compare, the more lost you feel, because you are no longer walking your path, you are mentally chasing someone else's. My beloved brothers and sisters, there is something you need to understand deeply. If Allah wanted you to have what someone else has, you would already have it. And if He has not given it to you yet, then either it is not meant for you or it is not meant for you right now. And both of those realities require trust, because you have to believe that what Allah has written for you is better than what you are seeing in others. Even if you don't feel it yet, even if you don't understand it yet, even if your heart struggles to accept it, you have to believe that your path is not random. It is intentional. Every delay has purpose. Every difference has meaning. Every struggle has a role in shaping who you are becoming. And one day you will see it. You will see why your journey had to be this way. You will see why certain things did not happen when you wanted them to. You will see why your life did not follow the same pattern as others. And when that day comes, you will not wish for a different path. You will be grateful for the one you had, because you will realize it led you exactly where you needed to be. My beloved brothers and sisters, stop measuring your life through the lens of others. Stop asking why you are not where they are. Start asking, where is Allah taking me? Because that question will bring you peace. Your journey is not delayed. Your journey is not wrong. Your journey is yours. And the one who designed it does not make mistakes. So walk your path with trust. Walk your path with patience. Walk your path knowing that even if it looks different, even if it feels slower, even if it feels harder, it is leading you somewhere that is written just for you. And when you finally arrive, you will understand why you had to walk this road and no one else's. You will understand one day, just not today. My beloved brothers and sisters, there is something your heart keeps asking for: clarity. You want to understand why things are happening the way they are. You want answers for the pain you feel, explanations for the delays you face, reasons behind the doors that keep closing. You want everything to make sense now. But life does not always work that way. Because if you were given full understanding in every moment, there would be no need for trust. And without trust, your relationship with Allah would remain shallow, dependent only on what you can see and explain. Right now, you are standing inside a moment that feels confusing, it feels heavy, it feels unfinished. And because you are inside it, you cannot see beyond it. It is like standing too close to a painting. All you see are random strokes, unclear patterns, disconnected colors. It looks messy, it looks confusing, it looks like it does not make sense. But if you step back, if you give it time, if you allow the full picture to come together, suddenly everything becomes clear. The problem is, you are trying to understand your entire life while standing inside one small moment of it. And that is why it feels overwhelming. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are things in your life right now that will only make sense later, not tomorrow, not next week, sometimes not even next year. But one day, it will all connect. One day, you will look back at this exact moment, the confusion you feel, the pain you carry, the loneliness that weighs on your chest, and you will see it differently. You will see how it changed you. You will see how it protected you. You will see how it redirected you. You will see how it brought you closer to Allah in a way nothing else could. But today, you cannot see that yet. And that is okay. Because understanding is not always given in the moment of struggle. Sometimes it is given after growth, after healing, after you become a different person. Right now, you are still becoming. And that means some answers are not meant to be revealed yet. Not because Allah is withholding them from you, but because you are still being prepared to understand them. There are things that if you understood too early, you might misinterpret, you might reject them, you might not appreciate their value. So Allah, in His wisdom, allows you to go through the experience first and gives you the understanding later. This is not delay. This is perfect timing. My beloved brothers and sisters, think about your past. Think about something that once hurt you deeply, something that once confused you, something that once made you question everything. At that time, it felt unbearable. At that time, you could not understand it. At that time, you may have even felt like it was the worst thing that could happen to you. But now, looking back, you see it differently. Now you understand why it happened. Now you see what it taught you. Now you recognize how it shaped you into who you are today. That is how your current situation will become one day. What feels like chaos now will feel like clarity later. What feels like pain now will feel like purpose later. What feels like loss now will feel like protection later. But to reach that point, you must allow time to do its work. And more importantly, you must allow trust to carry you through the part you do not understand. Because if you demand answers for everything right now, you will only increase your frustration. But if you accept that some things are not meant to be understood yet, your heart begins to soften. You begin to breathe differently. You begin to carry your struggles with a different mindset. Not as something meaningless, but as something unfolding. My beloved brothers and sisters, your life is not a series of random events. It is a carefully designed journey. And like any journey, there are parts where the road is unclear. There are parts where you do not know where you are going. There are parts where you feel lost. But that does not mean the destination is not there. It just means you are not there yet. And that is the key. You are not at the end of your story. You are in the middle of it. And the middle is always the most confusing part. Because the beginning has already happened. The ending has not yet been revealed. And you are standing in between, trying to make sense of everything. But the beauty of your story is that it is still being written. Allah is still guiding you. Allah is still shaping you. Allah is still placing things in your life and removing things from your life, all for a reason that will become clear when the time is right. So do not rush the understanding. Do not force clarity. Do not let your heart become restless because you do not have all the answers. Because peace does not come from knowing everything. Peace comes from trusting the one who knows everything. My beloved brothers and sisters, one day you will understand. One day you will see how every moment of confusion had purpose. One day you will see how every delay had wisdom. One day you will see how every hardship was shaping you for something greater. But today, your role is not to understand everything. Your role is to trust, to remain patient, to keep moving forward even when the path feels unclear, to hold on to your connection with Allah even when your heart feels heavy. Because the same Allah who wrote your story is the one who will bring clarity to it. And when that day comes, when everything finally makes sense, you will not just feel relief, you will feel gratitude. Gratitude for the path you once questioned. Gratitude for the moments you once struggled to accept. Gratitude for the journey that brought you exactly where you were meant to be. So, if you feel lost today, do not let that feeling break you. Let it remind you that you are still on the journey. And the one guiding that journey has never made a mistake. My beloved brothers and sisters, if there is one thing I want you to carry in your heart after this, it is this simple but powerful truth. You are not lost, you are being led. Even when the road feels dark, even when your steps feel uncertain, even when your heart feels heavy, you are not walking alone and you are not walking without direction. The one who created you is the one guiding you even when you cannot see it. Every moment of confusion you felt, every tear you tried to hide, every night you stayed awake thinking about your life, none of it was wasted. Allah saw it, Allah heard it, Allah counted it. And more importantly, Allah is using it to bring you closer, using it to shape you, using it to prepare you for a version of your life that you cannot yet imagine. So do not let your pain convince you that your story is broken. Do not let your loneliness convince you that you have been forgotten. Do not let your delays convince you that you have been left behind. Because sometimes what feels like the hardest part of your life is actually the most important part of your journey. The part where your heart changes, the part where your connection with Allah becomes real, the part where you stop relying on everything else and finally turn to Him completely. My beloved brothers and sisters, hold on. Hold on even when it feels difficult. Hold on even when you don't understand. Hold on even when everything inside you feels tired. Because the path you are on is not leading you nowhere. It is leading you somewhere meaningful, somewhere purposeful, somewhere that will one day make you look back and say, now I understand. And on that day, you will not regret this journey. You will not wish for a different path. You will thank Allah for guiding you through a road you once thought you were lost on. So keep walking, keep trusting, keep turning back to Allah, because the one who trusts Him is never truly lost. And as we come to the end, take a moment, slow down your thoughts, let your heart settle, because sometimes all you need is to turn sincerely to Allah, even if it's just a few words, but words that come from deep within you. Oh Allah, guide my heart when I feel lost. Grant me patience when I feel weak. Replace my confusion with clarity, my sadness with peace, and never let me walk a path that takes me away from you.